And hey YouTube, welcome today. This is Daniel Huang with 1980. Today we are in midst of the coronavirus and we're spending a lot of time at home. And I wanted to share you my setup for Zoom over the last couple of weeks. I've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings, but using my video production gear to really up the ante. And welcome back. I wanted to share my setup today. This is coming in filmed on my Fuji X-T2. It is hooked to an external recorder and then through an encoder, audio interface coming through, and eventually plugging into the USB-C port of my MacBook Pro, and it is streaming out through Ecamm software. Quite a complicated setup, but I'm going to break it down to its component parts. But first I wanted to show you what a Zoom meeting would look like if I were using just my webcam. So now I'm coming through my webcam. I think audio should be coming through my camera here, but the problem with the webcam is when I'm looking at the screen, one, you're seeing that it's quite blurry. It's blurry because the lighting in here is not optimal, and the camera lens just on this webcam here, the sensor is too small. And so it needs a lot of light, and without enough light, it then kind of has to bump up what's called ISO. ISO is just a technical term on trying to get the brightness, and in exchange for brightness, what you're doing is you're getting grainier video. And so let's get back to some of this high quality video. Now, the benefit here is because now my camera, I can position it wherever I want it, and this is now at an optimal height. I am staring into the screen, and I can kind of adjust things around a little bit more. With a webcam, typically, unless you elevate your camera, people are going to be staring into your nose, and this is just my setup here. A few other things to note is I have some cool lighting here. I have a light behind a diffuser, and back here there are Philips Hue lights acting as accent. It's just for visual interest, and the background, everything is intentional. I am actually keeping this mic in frame. It's slightly unprofessional, but I am exchanging it for quality audio. So let's break a component parts. Now, if you have a camera, in my case, I used the Fuji system. I believe some Canon cameras can plug directly into your computer, so you may want to look into that. But depending on what kind of camera that you're using your system, most of them today come with micro HDMI. Some of the more higher end production video comes with full HDMI. That's even better. But for mine, there's an micro HDMI that comes out, and I have that into an HDMI cable, and it goes, I'm using the Blackmagic. See if I can get this in focus. Ooh, it's trying to do face detection, so it's not liking me. There we go. It's the Blackmagic mini recorder. It has HDMI port here, and in the back here, it took quite a few dongles, but eventually I got it to adapt to my MacBook USB-C. So simple enough, get the camera hooked there. Now audio is coming into my camera here, so I got two of the same cameras. In this case, it's a headphone jack. Headphone jack goes into my camera. I have it running through my Zoom F4, which is a audio recorder. It's acting as a mixer. So without lifting this one up, I can have an example of this one. This is my Zoom H4n. It has XLR inputs, and so these are just more professional quality cables that plug into here. You mix the audio, you adjust the volume, and then have it outputted via just a traditional headphone jack that goes into my camera. So then my camera processes all that, sends it to HDMI through the encoder. You need an encoder to encode it to the right codec, and then it gets sent into the software. Complicated. I'll probably draw a picture in a future edition so you can see what that really means. But today I wanted to kind of give you a demonstration. Let's see. Got a couple audio things coming in, so I'm going to shut that off. Apologize for that. Professionalism, just making sure you close out unnecessary applications. I had Outlook, and so it's just sending me notifications. Let's talk about audio. Three kinds of mics. I'm going to start with, right now I'm talking on a Samson CO2. This is a condenser mic, so let me switch over to my desktop and open up a browser. So I'm going to go to Samson CO2. Let's take a look at this condenser mic. And I bought mine. It comes in a pair. So let's see if we can find a pair that seems reasonably priced. So this one's is $120. It comes with XLR cables, and so if you're plugging this into your machine, you're going to need the XLR cables. And oh my gosh, I have this. Sorry about that. And this is the problem with going live. I had this up for something else, and so my face is gigantic. There we go. Here we go. You should be able to see it now. Okay, the Samson CO2 condenser microphone. Condenser microphones are used for vocals, guitar instruments, and definitely recommend it. Super cheap. It was great to just have 2 of these. Comes in handy for recording podcasts. And it's pretty awesome. So having some trouble getting back into my software. There we go. Okay, that's part of the live component. So the Samson CO2, this is a condenser mic. What I like about this is if you're recording audio, you got to get your face really close to it, and it's recording, and it generally doesn't pick up a lot of audio. Especially if I'm talking out here, you're not going to get that sound very well. It's going to create that more full sound, but you got to get your face a little bit closer, or your mouth a little bit closer to the mic. Now up here, I have what's called a shotgun mic. And so let's see if we can flip back to that page here. And I have the Rode NTG4. I think it's a 4 Plus, but that's no problem. It's a super cardioid condenser shotgun microphone. So let's take a look at this one. With a shotgun microphone, it is pointing. The problem with a lot of shotgun microphones is it's great for outdoors if you're trying to pick up sound from a faraway distance, but internally in the house, I think a lot of people generally avoid it because it's picking up a lot of echo. So in this small studio space here, I have quite a bit of sound absorbing foam, and that's just working pretty well. And let's see if I can get this back. And so let's test out. I have the audio. I'm going to turn off this mic here. Give me a second. All right. And so now we should be recording. This might be coming up a little loud, so hopefully let me turn down. All right. And this is pointed out of frame. It's about right here. So it looks like it's right just out of frame. I have it just out of frame, and it is pointed towards my mouth. And as I'm talking here, you're not going to see the microphone. It's probably picking up a little bit of that sound from the furnace that's running right now. But let me know what you think on that sound. And now I'm switching back to this mic here. This is the Samson CO2. Now finally, a lot of these are higher end microphones or systems that require connection points and everything. A lot of people do, and the internet does recommend the Audio-Technica ATR 2100. It's a USB microphone. I have it plugged into a XLR cable, but there is a USB port that you can plug here. Plug it directly in the microphone. In your settings, you'll change it to the microphone. So let's take a look at the sound. And now I'm switching over to microphone. You'll notice that I am looking at my monitor a little bit. I'm adjusting the audio so that you are not getting too much. I actually used this microphone for my wedding because we didn't want to spend money to go out buying a system, so we just used whatever equipment we had, and it works pretty well. As a camera, I use this to record podcasts and record other things. A lot of people have gotten really far with this. It comes, I'm going to take it off, standard like this. Everyone recommends getting the foam pop screen, so as you go pop, 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 it's you're trying to avoid some of that. And sorry for switching in the audio. We'll see in post how this looks, but for now, just switching back to this mic. That's kind of my primary mic for most of my videos. This recommended one everyone I've recommended it to, it's working really well. They're built solid. I throw this in my bag quite a bit. I've had one that's gone bad. It's got a lifetime warranty, but the only downside is you got to pay $15 shipping and $15 for handling to get it repaired. So I have not sent the other one back, but it is a very good mic. So let's take a quick peek over. And again, let's look it up. So just so you can see on Amazon, Audio Technica ATR 2100. So again, on Amazon, you're going to see all kinds of things being offered with this case. Let's see. The base, the cheapest possible one, $80. Looks like this is a different model. There's all kinds of crap on Amazon nowadays. So you got to be cautious on what you're buying. ATR 2100X. Looks like it's the newer version. Click to see the price. $100. Not too bad. It comes with a little stand here, which is actually useful. If you don't want to hold it, I've used that to record quite a bit of recording equipment, and it works very well. So we've talked about audio, we talked about the camera, we talked about lighting. I have now, in terms of camera work, I have the camera, and I'm going to make a couple adjustments. Okay, now in order to create that shallow depth of field, that blurry background, you can digitally do that. I think some of the modern Microsoft Teams does that as a digital format. I've turned the aperture as low as possible. This lens is a 2.8 lens, which means stuff in the background is going to be slightly blurry, but not too blurry. If you get it too low in aperture, then the background, it's hard to stay in focus. I have face detection on, so then hopefully my camera's trying to track and focus on my face. Sometimes that can go a little wonky, but for the most part, this is my general setup. I've done quite a bit of Zoom meetings so far using this mic, this camera setup. I think audio comes in pretty well. And I think most importantly is focusing on lighting. If you do not have studio lighting, or do you not have kind of this weird wonky setup that I have, get some natural light in. You want the light coming towards your face, not behind you, kind of creating that anonymous person effect. And I hope this really helps you. If you are interested in learning more about how to improve your Zoom meeting, I think I'm going to put together just a little bit more tutorial in terms of the kind of equipment and the kit that you want to buy. But as a starting point, I am recommending the ATR 2100 as a bare essential. Get the audio good. It's okay if you're using your webcam and you're getting that quality. It's not too bad. And I have forgotten to flip over, so I apologize. Now you notice that I was talking and I forgot to switch over to the scene. Again, doing live setup is a little bit different for me. I've not done very much of it, so I'm going to be practicing a little bit more. There is physical tools out there that will help you switch between scenes. I haven't gotten that yet, and it looks like I won't be anytime soon, so I'm going to save some money for now. But I appreciate you joining along, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.